Hey, you guys, how are you? I hope you're having an amazing day. My name is Brittany Hilko, and I'm so excited to chat to you guys today about mindset. Just give me 2 seconds here. I'm going to type in my let's go here. Type in my Instagram handle, and you guys can go and make sure that you give me a follow. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. If you can hear me okay, I would love for you guys to drop some hearts. I'm somebody who, when I'm speaking to you guys, I love engagement. So I would love for you guys to comment that you can hear me, drop some hearts, drop some love, and I hope we have a incredible day. So I'm so excited to talk to you guys today. We are going to be chatting about mindset. And I know some of you may have been looking forward to a workout, and I promise you can do a workout later. You can hit me up and I'll send you some workouts, something for you to do. But my main focus, and truthfully something that's calling on my heart right now, is to really talk about mindset, to talk about how to transition in this moment. And I'm going to be speaking specifically to the women who are not essential workers, who are not our nurses, our doctors, our grocery people who are working at the grocery stores, our male women, like people who are our essential workers. Thank you for absolutely everything you're doing. This talk is more applied to the women who are at home right now, who are just staying safe during COVID. We are just staying home, hunkered down. And for those of you who are trying to figure out where I am, I'm in Saskatchewan, Canada. So of course my stay-at-home orders and quarantine life might be a little different than yours, but I just wanted to share with you guys a little bit about it. So, I mean, about 2 months ago when this all happened, I don't know about you, and you guys can drop some hearts, but I felt extremely overwhelmed that first week. I think it was like March 13th weekend, Friday the 13th weekend. That's when here in Canada, especially, and of course in the US, a lot of the coronavirus, COVID stuff all really happened over that weekend. And I don't know about you, but I felt anxiety, I felt stressed, I felt scared. It was that unknown feeling, and it was so unsettling. And you didn't know like what you were supposed to do. Were you supposed to go buy all the toilet paper in the world, or were you supposed to stay at home, right? Everybody was trying to figure out how they could deal with this situation in the best way possible. And after a few days of like emotionally eating all of the carbs and figuring out, what do I do? What can I do? How do I stay safe? How do I stay healthy over this time? I realized that, am I actually in danger right now? Kind of, but not really. Unless I am physically going out into the world, which you're not supposed to do, and ignoring all of the warnings, the rules put into place, all of those things. Unless I'm avoiding all of those things, I am not endangered. And that's something that a lot of us need to do, is we need to just kind of take a step back and a breather and understand, are you in danger right now? There is a real threat that is happening, but if we stay home, clean our groceries, wash our clothes, follow the guidelines from your health area and all those things, when you follow those guidelines, there's a good chance that you're going to be healthy and you are going to be okay. So I had to take a step back and really understand that, you know what, I am safe right now. I am going to be okay. Is life a little different, and is life a little shook up and a little weird? Yes, it is. It's very weird. It's very nerve-wracking. It's a little bit different right now, but I'm going to be okay and I'm going to be safe. And I don't know about you guys, but I love vision boards. I love creating vision boards, goal setting, all of that stuff. Like, that's my jam. That's my favorite thing to do. So of course, when January 2020 rolled around, I was in love with my 2020 vision board. I was so excited to travel. I was so excited to speak on stages this year. I was so excited to host all these incredible retreats for my business and do all these really cool things. And then once again, when May hit, when March hit and COVID hit, it was that moment where I thought, well, this vision board can go out the door because nobody really knows what 2020 is going to hold for us. And then I realized my 2020 vision board, yes, it has bucket list dream things to do this year, but what it doesn't have is the woman that I have to become to achieve all of those things on those vision boards. And whether I'm able to travel, whether I'm able to go speak on somebody's stage, whether I'm able to go do something this year, that doesn't determine the woman and that end goal, that vision that I have for myself and the woman that I'm going to become. That is determined on how I show up from this moment on. And that's what we're going to talk about today is who are you going to be moving forward? How are you going to show up for your future self in this time, in this moment in time where you are given this specific moment? Who knows if we're here for another week, another 3 weeks, 3 months, who knows? But you have this time right now to become a better you. You have this time right now to, maybe you're not checking off those bucket list items from your vision board for this year, but guess what? You still get to become, you still get to embody that dream person that you are. So I want you guys for a second, you're going to get kind of visual with me for a second, is I want you to think of the best day ever. Like when you felt on cloud 9, when you felt so confident, when you felt amazing, it was like the best day ever, right? For me, what I picture is February 2019, I was speaking on stage for my company. It was the first time I ever did it and it went really, really well. It was amazing. It was my favorite day. And throughout that day, that evening, I just was flooded with compliments, but also I felt amazing. I felt confident. I knew what I was doing. I felt really good. So can you guys picture that? Maybe it was your wedding day, your graduation. Maybe you spoke somewhere. Maybe you got a promotion. Maybe you whatever it was, something in your life that was wow, that was the best day. And when you think of that day, you get that feeling. You're oh, that was an awesome day. That was a really, really good day, right? So I want you to think of that day. Now, I want you to ask yourself, from the start of your quarantine till today, have you shown up even remotely as that person that you were before? Have you, thinking of best version of you ever, have you shown up as her at all over this quarantine? Was that a gut check? Think of that. Your best self versus how you've been showing up. Because let me remind you, that best self, that's still you. That woman that had the best day ever, she's still in your heart. She is still you. And it is up to you to decide how you are going to show up that way. Now, of course, we have dealt with uncertainty. We've dealt with anxiety. We've dealt with overwhelm. We've dealt with, oh no, what's going to happen over the last little bit. But guess what? You have this moment in time to start showing up as that best version of yourself. You have this moment in time to not only have that person that you show up one day a year, to feel that incredible one day a year. You have this opportunity in time to close the gap between that person and who you're showing up as, close that gap so you are showing up as that person more and more every single day. Now, how incredible would that be to feel so confident, in flow, aligned, and feeling so great every single day? How amazing would that feel? So what can you do to start feeling like that more and more? How can you start feeling like that more and more? So what I want you to ask yourself, if you guys have a piece of paper or you're taking notes on your phone or whatever, maybe come back to this. But I want you to think and ask yourself, on that best day ever, that ideal self of you, how did you show up that day? Did you wake up that morning and say, this is going to be the best day ever. I'm going to crush today. And feel like you were confident. You felt amazing that day. How did you wake up? What did you eat? What was the intention behind how you showed up that day? What were those things that you do? What did you eat? How did you move your body that day? What kind of music did you listen to? Who did you surround yourself with? And now, how can you implement that into today? How can you implement those things, that bomb playlist, those awesome clothes that you have? How can you implement those things in this moment today? How can you decide, because it is a decision of, guess what? Today, I'm going to wake up confident. Today, I'm going to be able to handle anything that comes in my way. Today, I get to show up as my best bad self, right? I get to show up as the queen of who I am. That woman that I'm going to be that's going to create that legacy. I get to show up as her. You get to decide that. So once again, I want you to ask your questions is, how did you show up that day as your best self? What did you wear? What kind of music did you listen to? What kind of food did you eat? How did you move your body that day? Who did you surround yourself with? And that's what I want you to think of. That's how I want you to start implementing those things. So I want you guys to take a second from that. And I want you to think of your top 3 favorite influencers. You guys can drop them in the comments down below. The top 3 people that as soon as you open your phone, you go to their Instagram pages. If they have a Facebook or Instagram live, like you go to their lives immediately. You follow them on any and every social media platform. If they say like jump, you're like, how high? Who are those people? Like Rachel Hollis, Gary Vaynerchuk. Is it somebody who is in your business area? Like who are those people that you really look up to? And I want you just to like take a second. I want you to write down their names. I want you to think of who they are. And now I want you to think of those people that you have. So for me, we'll go with Jillian Harris, we'll go with Gary Vaynerchuk, and we'll go with Chalene Johnson. So these are 3 people that I think of and absolutely loved over the last few years. And they're people that I love to follow on Instagram. They're people who I love to follow on all social media platforms. And I really value what they have to say. Now with those 3 people, I want you to think of at least one quality that you absolutely love from them. What is one thing from each of them that you really, really love? For me, I love how Gary V just anything he thinks and is like, hey, this is a post, let's make it. This is something we can share, let's share it. This is like he just takes action, right? He doesn't dwell on, oh, what if Karen doesn't like this? What if Becky from high school doesn't like this, right? He just takes action and then pivots after that. That's what I love about Gary Vaynerchuk. Then my second influencer is Jillian Harris. absolutely love her. She's hilarious. But on top of that, she shows up unapologetically. She can show up on her Insta stories with her glam team and she looks all incredible and ready to rock and roll throughout her day. And then she will also show up with no makeup on, her hair in a complete mess that she didn't shower because her kids were not sleeping. Like, she shows up on her social media no matter what. Then I think of Chalene Johnson. This is another influencer that I've absolutely loved, that I've been able to work with, somebody who is a real role model, because what she does is when she walks through something, when she goes through something, she finds a way of how can I make this easier for the next person to walk through it? How can what I went through, how can I break it down so someone else that is going through this, they can walk through this too, and they can walk through it a little bit easier. So I want you to think of those 3 people, and now I want you to think of those 3 things. As soon as you've done that, I want you to drop some hearts in the comments down below, or the little thing right here. I want you guys to tap that if you have your 3 people you thought about and those three characteristics that you really love about them. Okay, now I'm gonna blow your mind. Those characteristics that you love about those people is because it's already inside of you. That is something that you already have inside of you, and that's why you're attracted to that person. That's why you're attracted to following their things, because that is a way that you want to show up. You want to show up and just share content unapologetically because you know it can hold value, and then you can pivot from there. You want to show up unapologetically because you know someone is going to be able to relate to that, whether you have a full face of makeup or no makeup at all. All of those things are there because it's already inside of you. Now, why not use that superpower to start showing up as that best self, that best day ever that you've always thought of, right? So I think that's something that we need to really think of. So how can we do that, Britt? You're talking about your best self. You're thinking of that best day ever, showing up as that person. But Britt, I'm in quarantine. I've ate all of the carbs humanly possible. I've drank all of the wine that you could possibly think of. And I'm still in sweatpants and I haven't washed my hair yet. How can I take action? How can I move forward? How can I make a difference right now? So I want you to ask yourself this next question. Who are the 5 people you're surrounding yourself with most right now? Who are the 5 people, when you look at your day, your 16-hour day, however long you're awake for, who are the 5 people that you're spending the most time with in this moment? Maybe it's your kids, maybe it's your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. Maybe you're someone like me who's quarantining by themselves. Shout out to all those people who are quarantining by themselves. Who are those people that you're surrounding yourself with? Now, if you're someone like me who is quarantining by myself, I mean, I'm not really surrounding myself with anybody right now. But here's the thing. You get to surround yourself with the 5 most influential human beings you want to, that are going to get you closer to your goals through podcasts, through your social media, through your Instagram, through the people you're interacting with. Maybe it's time that you realize, like, wow, that gap between best self and who I'm showing up as is really big, and I need to start surrounding myself with people who are going to lift me higher, that are going to push me towards my goals. That's going to be a community of people that I'm going to learn from and can take action from. And what ends up happening is you start closing that gap. You start closing that gap to become somebody else who is that closer to that ideal self. And once again, you might be like, well, Britt, I got 8 kids running around. Awesome. If you have 8 kids running around, guess what? You still have a choice in your downtime when you're taking your shower, or maybe it's time for you, if your kids are old enough, that you wake up an hour earlier and you plug in some Rachel Hollis into your ears. You plug in some Gary Vaynerchuk. You plug in a podcast, an audiobook, and you start becoming that better version of who you are. So that's what we need to do. And here's a bonus question. If you are the brightest light in everybody that you're surrounding yourself with, if you're that brightest light, if you know that you're kind of like the leader of the pack, it's time for you to get a new group. It's time for you to surround yourself with people who are going to take you to the next level. It's time for you to step up and become that next version of you. So that's something that we really need to focus on. So lastly, as I close out here, I want you guys to picture your dream day. I want you to think 7 years down the road. I want you to think post-COVID. I want you to think that all of the what if this went wrong, what if they all went right? What if you got that dream job? What if you married that dream person? What if you got that dream life? What if everything you ever wanted came true? And I want you to visualize that for a second. Where would you live? What would you wear? Who are you surrounding yourself with? How are you spending your time from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed? Do you have a dream house? Do you have multiple homes? What kind of car do you drive? Who is the person that you are when you wake up in the morning? And I want you to think back to that person that you were on your best day ever. Who is she going to be 7 years from now? How does she feel? Is she confident? Is she proud? Is she able to leave an impact? Is she creating a legacy for herself and her family? Is she aligned? Is she happy? Does she have joy in her life? Does she have freedom in her life? I want you to think of those things. With all of that, that woman that you're going to be 7 years from now, I want you to borrow confidence from her as you take the next step today, as you move forward in the next hour today, as you continue to show up today. I want you to borrow confidence when the days are hard, when you're not feeling like showing up, when things are difficult. I want you to borrow confidence from your future self. I want you to remember that that person that you were on your best day, she's still you. That woman that you are 7 years from now, she's already inside of you. You just have to make that conscious decision in this moment in time to start showing up as her, to start being that leader of your own life, to start surrounding yourself with people who are going to help you move forward, who are going to tell you, hey, sister, it's time to take a shower. It's time for you to wash your face. It's time for you to get up and move. It's time for you to throw out the rest of those cookies and pour out the wine. It's time for you to start fueling your body for that best version of yourself, because you felt like her at one point in time. And no matter the crap tornado that's happening right now, you have the decision on how you are going to walk out of this quarantine, how you are going to move forward. And I hope that if you were someone like me that wrote down on January 1st, 2020, that 2020 is going to be the best year ever, that 2020 is the year that changed everything, I want you to believe that, because in this moment in time, guess what? You have an abundance of time and resources to make this and make yourself the best version of you possible. So I hope you guys learned something. I hope that was valuable to you guys. Make sure that you follow me on Instagram. It's Brittany Hielko on Instagram. So Brittany, 2 T's, A-N-Y, H-E-W-L-K-O. Make sure that you guys follow me on Instagram. Send me a message. Share this with any of your friends. Leave a comment down below. And feel free to use my code. It is BHielko, H-E-W-L-K-O. Follow me on Instagram, and I really hope this helped you guys. So stay strong, stay safe, and it's time to pour into that future self of yours. Bye, guys.